Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Life Lessons card of the Woodward. And when I was thinking about this card today and meditating upon it, the word that kept coming to mind is strength. Okay, we were empowered, which is still down here twice, to make a transition. We crossed over the Wildwood Lake, and the archer came out and said, hey, let's set some new goals. And we did. We set some new goals, and we felt empowered by them because the Five of Bows and empowerment was down here, and it was clarified by the message of the Page of Swords. Okay. And the message from the Page of Swords relays into this card here, strength. The Woodward is one of the guardians of the Wildwood Forest. All right. And he symbolizes the power that comes from overcoming fear and just the nature of darkness, which is what we've done here, I feel like, in the last 6-7 weeks. He's also a hunter of solving crises. Okay, now he's got the Knight of Arrows, the hawk up behind him. He's got the Page of Stones, the lynx there with him, and he is carrying a cup. Okay, and it's probably got some sort of, I would say, some water in it. All right, so he's representing, all of the elements that, you're going through. And with any journey that we start through a transition or through crossing over that rainbow bridge or just starting anew when we get to the Wildwood tree, we have to have that strength. We have to have that courage. We have to have that that inner strength, right? The stamina to help us gain that wisdom and patience on our new journey. So you've set these goals and you're feeling empowered to do them. Let's, just say that you want to increase your finances 5%. Okay, so that's going to require you to work some overtime. That's going to take strength. It's going to take stamina. It's going to take fortitude. Okay, because maybe you don't want to put in those extra 5 to 10 hours every week. It could be easy just to go up and ask your boss for a raise, but if that doesn't happen, you may have to put in a little bit of overtime. All right, if you want to, that goal of strengthening the relationship that you have, you're going to have to develop more communication. You're going to have to reach out and touch somebody. It's a two-way street on a phone. That other person is just going to sit there and wait for you to call, and you're sitting there waiting for them to call. So you got to think about that process there, okay? And just work on that inner strength to just, tackle that fear, right? To overcome it, to, tackle that nature of that darkness, okay? And by doing so, whenever, whether that's in a job or in a relationship or a social setting, okay, your patience and wisdom is turning those gains and opportunities into a positive for your journey as you're moving forward. And you don't have to, you have to be cunning like the lynx and the fox and all those other animals that are out there, and also dedicated to your goal. We've got dedication still down here. Now, there's a ton of others out there that want to see you succeed in reaching those goals, even though they're on the other side of the lake, right? The start of that journey, that transition is coming to a point in your mind where you say, you know what? I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to create this goal. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to gain the wisdom. I'm going to gain the knowledge, and I'm going to be empowered to move forward. And once you're dedicated to that goal, your strength comes from being balanced. It comes from being grounded. And the stones are, he's standing on the stones. And, to me, those stones, I think I counted 3 stones there when I was looking at the card earlier. The 3 of stones, to me, is collaboration with others. It's also, an opportunity for fulfillment. Okay, as you're going through, that's 3 of bows. And when we face that adversity in that relationship or that adversity in our social network, adversity at work, right? You have to have the courage to stand up, for one, for what's going on. And understand that, you know, if you got to speak up, speak up. But if you don't, you still have to have that courage to, you know, go through the changes in that relationship, go through the changes in that department, go through the changes in having, you know, people disappear, you know, in your social network. You know, those that are there to help you grow will stay by your side. Those that aren't, and, you know, feel like you're moving forward faster than they are, they're going to fall off to the wayside. All right. And you have to have that strength, that inner strength, you know, inside to foresee what is to come, and also look within and say, you know what? In order for me to succeed, I have to do this in a relationship. In order for me to succeed in this department, all right, I have to make some bold decisions. In order for me to succeed in my social networks, you know, I may have to cut a few people out because we're not like-minded, right? We're not in that hearth fire moment. I may have to seek out other ways of you know, having a hearth fire. You know, going to a yoga class, or going to a meditation class, going to a shamanic class, right? Those people that are like-minded, that are going to support you on your journey. So, you know, with the Woodward coming out after your goals are set, he's a reminder to say, okay, yes, focus on your goals, but focus on your strength, all right? Your strength in your skill set, your strength in who you are, your strength in your courage, your strength in your knowledge, your strength in your wisdom, right? Because you have a lot of those characteristics as you're working forward, being that spiritual warrior. And he really is, you know, he's a warrior of the Wildwood Forest, as well as a guardian. Okay, so he sees all this overcoming the fear, and he sees all this nature of darkness, and he's going to help you, you know, gravitate towards overcoming that. Okay, he wants to see you do that. He's going to send that hawk out, and that hawk is going to be looking for those opportunities to where you don't want to be. And he's going to come back and he's going to talk to the Woodward and say, you may want to direct him, you know, this way, right? That lynx is going to go out there, that page of stones, and he's going to get the message to help you feel secure, stable. You know, the page of swords down here is going to give you that clarity as well of what's going on. So listen to the messages that are coming through, the earthly ones as well as the air ones, and, you know, see what happens as you're moving forward on your spiritual path. I do feel that since the transition here 4 days ago, that we are going to start going a different direction. But right now, I think it's just building our confidence up, building our self-esteem up as we're moving forward to say, you know what, we're ready for that next step. So let's see what that next step is. So this is D for this Spirit's Path with the Woodward card, and I like to attribute to it strength out of the Wildwood Tarot deck. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for a Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.